So now I'm just going to answer a couple questions in this video. There's going to be a couple videos like this in the training series, all the way at the end of the training series, where at the end of each live session that I did, people ask questions, and I go in and actually answer the questions. This is going to be one of those videos. All right, so Dave Newell, he says, if you're taking requests, I'd love to see a Zap that has Stripe failed payment as a trigger. Then the action is to do a webhook post. You probably know the one I'm thinking of, but no need to demo it publicly, I suppose. Second action step is to send a Gmail message. All right, so that's going to be pretty easy. I'm going to show you one that I already have pre-built because I use this in my daily process. We're going to come right in here to funnel bait. And I've got two very similar. So I've got one that's set up to Stripe whenever a payment's failed. I've got another one that's set up to Stripe whenever I actually cancel somebody's membership. So if I go into Stripe and I cancel their subscription, this Zap right here will trigger if I have it turned on. Obviously, if you don't have your Zap turned on, they're not gonna work. So let's look at this example for Dave, all right? So again, I just want you to understand that you can have as many steps as you want, all right? And I think I'm gonna create another little video probably tomorrow, and I'm gonna put that above all these videos to kind of help you understand with your billing and your task allotment, so you actually understand how much is each one of these things going to actually cost you per automation, all right? But let's look at this. Here's a new event. So I've picked Stripe as my action, all right? So Stripe's gonna be my app here that is gonna be my trigger. I've got a new event. I want you to notice that I do have a nice little descriptive title here. It says Stripe payment fail, suspend group user. So what this means is whenever a payment fails through Stripe, I'm actually gonna suspend that user from all my different software, and then I'm going to send them an email message, all right? So if you look, I've got a new event, all right? So here's a bunch of different things that you can choose from Stripe, whether it's a new charge or a new event, or a new customer, or a new refund, or a new coupon, or a new plan, or a new invoice, or a new order, or a new invoice item. You can see here it says triggers when an event like a dispute, subscription, or transfer is added. So I know that this is the event that I want to use, and how do I know that? Just through trial and error, just through going in and actually looking what's available here, what's available there. So if you're confused, there's nothing that says whenever you have this app that it has to be turned on or it's finalized. Always feel free to go in and check stuff out by trial and error. But I know this is the one I need to use. I know what Stripe account that I want to use. I want to use my Tier 5 Stripe account. So now I'm going to go to Edit Template Options. And here you can see you have a bunch of different types of event. So you have all different types of event. You have, account updated, or all events, or when a charge is succeeded, or when a charge is captured. Or in our instance, exactly what Dave wanted to do, when a charge fails. So this is going to be on any failed payment. Anytime somebody is trying to make a payment and it fails, this event is going to be triggered by Stripe, which means this Zap is going to run, this automation is going to run, all right? You can check out all the other stuff that's there as well. We're gonna use charge failed because that is essentially what Dave wanted to see, all right? Our next step is going to be a really common one. It is a filter by Zapier, all right? So this is a built-in Zap. It's a built-in app by Zapier. I'm gonna go show you a lot of other ones that they have. Some of them are really cool. And you can see my filter only has one filter, only continue if. It's a conditional filter, all right? And then here in my Zap, I only want to continue if Stripe is giving me the customer's email, because I know that his user accounts in my software are registered with his email address, and if Stripe doesn't give me an email, it's going to be really arbitrary to do the rest of these tasks, and these tasks consume some of my balance, which means technically they cost me money. Now maybe they only cost me a penny or a fraction of a penny, that's still fucking money, all right? So I don't want to arbitrarily continue my Zap if I know that the rest of it couldn't possibly work because I'm missing a key piece of data that I need. I can't suspend your user account if I don't know your email address that your user account is suspended for, all right? So I'm going to set up a filter, and I'm going to say, hey, look, you only need to continue if that email address exists. If that email address exists, then you need to continue. If it doesn't, then it's a waste of your time and a waste of my money to carry out this automation, so don't do it, all right? So you can go in and you can elaborate on these, and you can build even more complex things. What you need to know is all this data right here is coming from your trigger, all right? So you can pick any of this that you want. All this data is the data that just came from your trigger. All this data is the data that Stripe just handed over to Zapier whenever your new payment failed event has happened, all right? So I'm gonna pick customer email, and I'm gonna say that that exists. And then my next actions are essentially going to be a webhook. So this is how I hit an API. All our different softwares, they have external APIs that I can hit to manage users. I can add users, I can suspend them, I can unsuspend them, I can even delete them. All right? So this is another built-in Zapier app. It's called webhooks. All right? So whenever you set up a webhook, you can use a put request, you can use a post request, a custom request, or a get request. We are going to use a post request. Why? Because that's what my API is wanting. It's wanting a post request, all right? So then you go in and actually edit your template. Here is something to actually suspend my user, all right? I'm gonna give that email address, and this is going to actually suspend them on text in bulk. So now their text in bulk account is going to get suspended. Here's another one that's actually gonna suspend them. This is going to suspend them on invoicing you, all right? Now, another thing I'd like to mention to you is something that you should probably do is you can always go in and actually rename these things right here for organization. And I can name this, for example, text in bulk. That way, whenever I come back and look at this app later on, I know exactly what each one of these steps is actually doing. And I don't have to go through each one and say, okay, which one isn't working? What is this? What is that? This one's Magic Zap. So, so it's always going to help you in your organization to start from the beginning. All right, but I'm going to say fuck organization and let's move on. So now you can see all I'm doing here is I'm just hitting all the different endpoints on all the different softwares. There's 6 of them that they're actually going to get suspended on. All right, then here I'm going to actually send an email. So I'm going to use Gmail as another action, and just keep in mind, look at how many actions that I have. I've got, you know, a trigger, I've got a filter, I've got an action, another 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 action. Think of how much time this is saving me. It's saving me a lot of time because I don't have to physically do any of this, all right? So now I'm just gonna pick Gmail. I'm gonna say, hey, I wanna send an email. I'm gonna pick the account I want to send it from, and then I'm gonna edit my template. I'm gonna pass in, if you look here, just like I told you before, here, as you can see, I'm in this step number 9, and you can see I have available data from step number 1, I have available data from step number 2, I have available data from step number 3, I have available data from step number 4, from step number 5, from step number 6, from step number 7, from step number 8, and if I go down here to 10, you'll see I also have available data from step number 9, all right? That's how Zapier works. Each step carries the data to the next step so I can access it. That's why I can access from step 1, I can access this person whose payment actually failed. I can send them out an email, and I can just kind of fill this out, which is pretty intuitive. You just kind of look and see, okay, what are they asking you for? And you just kind of give them that data. Anywhere you see one of these things like this, anywhere you see one of these little plus things, that means that this is a field that you can put data in from your previous step, all right? So, and then I'm just gonna add them to a list. So hopefully that goes through exactly what you were wanting, Dave, because that's what you asked for, so that's what I did, all right? So now I'm just gonna go through the rest of your questions here, and then like I said, since you guys don't have a lot of questions, then we're gonna be done, all right? So Greg says, I wanted to learn how to update a row from a chatbot. I'm still using ManyChat, and I want to learn how to update a row when a customer gets a coupon. List that they got the coupon with date and then trigger another Zap when they use the coupon. I would like to update the row with that customer's ID and mark that coupon used with a date and time. So I'm not sure where they're using that coupon at, all right? So I don't know where they're using that coupon at. technically I can't show you anything inside ManyChat because I'm not allowed to use their software because they hate me. Not sure why they hate me because I'm such a lovable person. I'm such a nice person. But anyways, what you would do is you would go to Make a Zap, and then you would go in here and you would go to ManyChat. All right. You would use ManyChat, and then you would pick, most likely you would pick New Trigger a Zap Event. All right. So inside ManyChat, they have an action called Trigger a Zap. And whenever you trigger that zap, you give it a name, and anytime you perform that action, ManyChat takes all the information from the subscriber and they hand that over to Zapier. All right, so this would be your first step. You would go in. You can see I haven't used any of my stuff for more than a year because I'm just not allowed to use their software anymore. So none of this would actually work for me. If I try to test it, they're going to be like, oh no, this doesn't work. So anyways, this would be your trigger. And then obviously your action is just going to be a Google Sheet. So you're just going to come in and you're going to click Google Sheets, and then you're going to update your spreadsheet row accordingly. All right. So hopefully that answers your question. Now that's the first part of your question. So I mean, obviously you would go in and from your first step, Zapier would give you that all the information about that subscriber. They would give you all their information. They give you their username, they give you their ID, they give you their first name, their last name, they give you everything, any custom fields that you have, all data that you have stored about that person. ManyChat's just going to hand over to Zapier. You have access to all of that data. All right. So from there, you're just going to put that data in here. And how you can get the date and time, you can just Google that, Zapier, get time, get current time. All right. And then you can just look, here's some modifying dates and time. You can see that you can just use this timestamp right here. It's called Zap MetaHuman Now. This will literally just, if you put this in somewhere, so if you were just go in and actually put this in to some field here, you could just put that in some field. And if you look, I'm going to put that in right there. All right. I'm just going to put that right in that field. I'm going to turn that back on. And then I'm just going to come back over here. I'm also going to come back over here, go to my sheets. And I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to go back to that simple zap that we just created. You guys want 90% off something? And I'm going to put in ClickFunnels 2. And I'm going to call this questiosn@funnels.com. No real reason, just for fun. All right. Then I'm going to come back over here, and you're going to see in this ClickFunnels here, you're going to see that ClickAsk is going to come in here, and you're going to see that right in here is going to be added the lifetime value, and also you're going to see the date timestamp that this happened, because I added in the date timestamp to this guy right here. So in this guy right here, I actually went in and I added the Zappa MetaHuman Now. It's generated whenever the Zap actually runs. So whenever ClickFunnels decides to finally give this object over to Zapier, which who knows when that's going to be, so we're going to call this delay at wait.com, and we're going to wait for ClickFunnels to actually give this data out to Zapier so that Zapier can actually do something with it. Going to make sure that our Zap's actually turned on, and we'll just wait. Like I said, just because it says it's instant doesn't mean that it's actually technically, theoretically instant. But now you can see that one of those came through. I should be getting another one in a minute, but you can see I have my lifetime value of that customer, and I also have the date timestamp at which this thing actually happened. So that's how you can get your date and timestamp. And then your other question, the other half of your question, you said when a customer gets a coupon, list that they got the coupon with the date, okay, and then trigger another Zap when they use the coupon. I don't know where they're using a coupon at, so You'll have to figure out where are they actually using the coupon, at what place are they going to actually, you know, enter that coupon, and then hopefully wherever that is, they have a way that actually ties into Zapier, and you can tie in there. So hopefully that answers your question. Not sure if that answers your question or not, but hopefully so. Omarian says, you provide Zapier accounts. Are they 5 minutes or 15 minutes? I do not provide Zapier accounts. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So Zapier, you can get Zapier accounts from Zapier.com. Paul Easter says, when create a Zap in the shared folder, will everybody with access to that shared folder automatically on default have the rights to edit my created Zap, or can the administrator prevent that if one would like to? Okay, so if you're on a Zapier Teams account, then if you're on a Zapier Teams account and you put something in a shared folder, then yes, anybody can actually have access to that. Apparently somehow looks like I made this shared, and I'm not sure how this got to be shared, but looks like this was somebody else created this, but yes. So anybody can go in and actually edit this for sure. All right, anybody can go in and actually just edit that up for sure. All right, so if you look here, here's a tier 5 group. Here's lots of Zaps that have actually been created that are shared with the tier 5 Teams account. And if you look though, but certain parts of these are actually going to be protected. Anybody can go in and actually edit them, yes. So if you're in a Teams environment and you have shared folders, the best suggestion, like for me, we have a Zapier Teams account, and some of you guys get added to our Zapier Teams account so that we can actually help you with your Zaps, and we can coach you with your Zaps, and we can even actually build pre-made Zaps for you. What I do is I build them for you. I stick them in the shared folder. Your job is to clone them, all right? So you can copy and clone Zaps at any time. You just come in and you copy it, all right? So you just go in and you copy it, and then once you copy it, you're just gonna move it to your own personal folder. That way nobody else can access it, nobody else can screw your shit up, all right? So whenever I go in and I create Zaps for you guys, or you guys actually need help for me with your Zaps, what you do is you just go in and you can just move it into the shared folder. I would recommend you first make a copy and then move that copy into the shared folder. I'll go in and check it out. I'll fix it right up for you. And then I'll let you know, hey, it's done, and then you can copy it and move it back to your personal folder. If I just go in and create Zaps for you like I have for these funnel baits, which I'm actually going to trash now, we're going to trash all these guys, all right, because they don't need to be in here. None of these actually need to be in here. I don't know what those other ones are for, so they're not from me. All right, so I'm going to go in and actually just select these pause ones. I'm going to trash those right up because they don't actually need to be inside there anymore. All right, so what I do whenever I create Zaps for you guys is templates. I'll go in and actually create the template and put it inside here, and it's up to you guys to be smart enough to know, don't edit the fucking template because it's a template. Copy the template, move that template into your own folder, edit that, because if not, if you screw up, that means that anybody else that wants to copy that template, it's actually going to be screwed up. And trust me whenever I tell you, if I go in and create a template for everybody and 2 or 3 people go in and they edit it and they fuck it up, I'm not going to keep going over and creating that template over and over and over again. Trust me when I tell you, I won't fucking do that. I will create it once. If you go fuck it up, then I don't know what to tell you. You fucked it up. Don't expect me to keep going in and fixing the same thing over and over again. So from a trust system and from being a grown-up system, I create the template Zaps. You go in, you copy them, just like the chatbot. I gave you guys all a chatbot and told you the same thing. Do not connect your page to this chatbot. Copy this chatbot, then connect your page to that copy. All right? So that's what you should actually do. You should just actually copy it and then move that copy to your personal folder where nobody else can access it, and then everything should work properly. If you guys go in and start actually making your own edits, if you screw them up, like I said, they're going to get screwed up for everybody. So hopefully that answered your question. Letitia says, thank you. The trigger step was confusing. Not so confusing, just again, so you know that trigger step is just essentially what starts the process, all right? What is the thing that actually starts the process? What event should start this automation to happen, all right? It is your trigger. It's like your catalyst. When this thing happens, boom, an automation explosion happens, all right? Hopefully that makes sense. Paul said, thank you, John. You're welcome, Paul. That's all your questions, all right? So those are all your questions for today, all right? So it looks like you don't have any other questions, and since you don't have any other questions, I think I've made enough videos for the first module of my training course, so I'm going to go upload them into YouTube and then into the members area. And I think I'm done for a couple days in Zapier, to be honest, unless you guys really need some help, then you can just message me. If you really need some help, I expect, like, what's my expectation? I expect if you really actually need some help, you ask fucking questions. If you don't fucking ask questions, I expect you don't actually need help and you just come here because I'm beautiful and you like to watch me, all right? That's what my assumptions are, that if you need help, you're going to ask. If you don't need help, you're not going to ask. So if you do need more help and you do want more help, then all you have to do is ask. If not, then next time I do training, I'll send you a message like I did in the chat bot, and then you can just come watch me in my stupid hat. All right? So hopefully you guys have a great day and you enjoy the rest of your day. As for me, I'm gonna go finish working on my robot for a little bit before I have to go home and cook dinner for my wife. So I love you guys. Thank you for coming. Enjoy your day. I'll see you later.